I'm 72 years old, but nobody can make me give up my dreams. Not even my own child. They locked my guitar in a closet, thinking they were protecting me. Instead, they set me free. I stood on their porch at dawn, guitar case in one hand and a small cardboard box in the other, the early light casting long shadows across the walkway I helped pave with my late husband of 45 years. Our home had grown too quiet when he passed, and I welcomed my daughter Sarah's invitation to move in with her family, her gentle voice promising warmer days, the laughter of my 2 grandsons echoing down the hall. At first I thought it was a blessing, the chaos of bedtime stories, the aroma of Sunday roasts, the feeling of being needed again, but helpful can hurt. My meatloaf, a recipe passed down from my grandmother, vanished into the trash marked, "Too heavy, Mom." My knitting needles disappeared. "You shouldn't sit so long." One morning I reached for my guitar. My Ray and I bought it for $50 at a pawn shop, and it was gone, hidden behind dusty coats in a closet labeled exercise gear. They told me I needed more movement. What they really did was silence my music. One sleepless night, I tiptoed into the dark guest closet and found my guitar under old jackets. I carried it to the kitchen, sat under the single dangling bulb, and struck the first chord of Crazy. My hands shook at the frets, my voice cracked on the first line, but each note pulled me back to life. It wasn't perfect, it was raw, but it was my own voice, alive again. A week later, I found myself at the Rusty Key Coffee House on Main Street, a place of chipped tables and dim Edison bulbs. I signed up for open mic by scrawling 72 and ready to sing on the sign-up sheet, then posted on Facebook, "Come see a 72-year-old widow chase her song, 7 p.m. Rusty Key." Sarah texted, "Mom, please, don't." I replied, "One life, I must live it." That night, clutching my guitar, I stepped onto the tiny stage. The audience, a mix of students and late-night dreamers, fell silent as I launched into Crazy. By the chorus, my voice had grown steady. When I finished, the room erupted in cheers. Strangers hugged me, and one young man slipped me a note. "Your courage gave me hope. Thank you." The next morning, we sat at Sarah's kitchen table for breakfast. She said, "You can't keep doing this. It's bad for your health." Mark added, "We only want what's best." I nodded, sipped my coffee, then packed my quilts, Ray's old records, my cookbook, and my guitar. On their table I left a note. Love doesn't come with walls. No goodbyes, no arguments. I drove away in silence, the rear-view mirror reflecting my steady eyes. Pulling into my own driveway felt like reclaiming my soul. I unlocked the door, carried in my belongings, and tuned my guitar on the living room stand. I baked an apple pie from Ray's favorite recipe, the sweet aroma filling every corner, reminding me who I was before I let anyone else decide. Word of the "come-back grandma" spread through the neighborhood. Each Tuesday night, I returned to Rusty Key, trying new songs, old favorites, even one of my own about finding light after loss. People began to ask about my story, and soon I was not just singing. I was reminding others that their voices mattered. At 73, I decided to create a space for voices like mine. On Elm Street, I rented a small shop and opened Silver Strings Cafe and Music House. We serve tea, coffee, and my husband's biscuit recipe. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. is open mic for anyone age 60 and up. The walls are lined with guitars donated by customers, each one carrying its own scratch and story. Chairs fill with former teachers, veterans, retirees, all clutching lyrics they thought they'd lost. One night, an 80-year-old World War II veteran surprised us by singing a lullaby he once crooned to his daughter. When his voice cracked on the last verse, half the cafe was in tears. On another evening, a retired school librarian came forward shyly with a poem she had written during the lockdown, her voice soft but steady. By the end, the room erupted in applause so warm it felt like a blanket wrapped around every performer. These moments taught me that courage is contagious, that when one person steps into the light, others find the strength to follow. I learned 3 truths. You're never too old to chase a dream. A single chord can break through the hardest silence, and love should set you free, not lock you away. Now, when I close up at night, I sweep the floor, lock the door, and sit by the front window with my guitar in my lap. I strum a few chords while street lamps glow outside, thinking of Ray and how this journey, from that silent closet to this bright cafe, taught me that life's music plays on as long as you have the courage to sing.